Hello everybody. This video is going to be about why it's so hard to lose weight, why it's so hard to gain weight. A little bit about the body weight set point. In the video, we're going to talk about what is the body weight set point? How does it affect us who's trying to lose weight, and how does it affect those people who are trying to gain weight and having difficulty? What is the body weight set point? Well, many of you understand the idea of a thermostat. You set the temperature of the room to a certain temperature. When it gets too cold, the heating kicks in and it heats up and hits that steady point. Now, our bodies are very similar. We have these set points for lots of things, even our body weight and our fat content. Okay, so our body will detect a loss in energy, okay, a calorie deficit, maybe a loss in fat, and then it will want to reestablish homeostasis, okay, keeping things the same. The body will want to reestablish that body weight and try to stay safe to keep us through periods without eating. So this is a fat cell known as adipose tissue, okay. You can see there's like some muscle tissue at the top, and then here is some fat cells, these little pockets, these little bags, and they contain like triglycerides, like these fatty acid things, okay? And so they're like little bubbles, and when you need to use fat for energy, it'll release some of those fatty acids. So we have our adipose tissue here and the mind here. And so the thing is, the adipose tissue are very well innervated with the mind. They're connected through the mind with nerves, okay, and hormones. The fat can communicate to the brain, and the brain can communicate back. So if you have fat, if you have a lot of fat cells, okay, they communicate, all right? They don't just sit around and do nothing. They are controlling your mind. Anyway, when you lose fat, the fatty acids give up their fat, and then they also communicate to the brain that, hey, we're starving, we're losing the fatty acids, we're losing our precious stored energy. And so what they do is they prevent a release of leptin. Leptin is one of the two hunger hormones. Leptin makes you feel full. It makes you not want to eat. And ghrelin, on the other hand, is a hormone that makes us hungry. So you're losing fat, you experience less leptin. So you feel like you just haven't eaten enough. You don't feel full. You feel hungrier most of the time when you're losing weight. And that makes sense. Okay, you're starving, the body isn't getting enough energy, you're feeling hungry. So you're not only just feeling hungry, but you start to move around less. You don't want to move as much. Your motivation to exercise will also decrease. Okay, so you're not going to want to move around. You're going to want to save energy. And why is this? Well, for most of human existence, we never had enough food and starvation was real. Dying through not eating enough happened a lot. And so we have always got the sensation to eat more, and that exists still today. We're the same beings that we were thousands and thousands of years ago, except now we have food everywhere. So we want to prevent ourselves from losing energy and staying alive. So that does kick us in the ass, because we do eat now a lot of food that is full of sugars, high in fats, that taste great. So we go back and we buy it again, and it also fuels all of our cravings, okay? So eating too much is very easy these days. And now the reverse is true as well. If you're trying to gain weight, your muscles and adipose tissue will communicate to the brain that we have enough stored energy and hunger will actually decrease. Okay, so the opposite is also true. Leptin will increase. So when it comes to losing weight, how do we take these facts into consideration? So you're going to feel hungry, so you want to eat foods that make you feel full. Foods that contain a lot of fiber, like plants, fruits, vegetables, and of course, protein. Protein makes us feel full. So animal products, meats, okay, things like soy, tofu, tempeh, those things. A lot of protein and a lot of fiber. It's going to make us feel full. The size of your calorie deficit, okay, if you need 2,500 calories per day to stay the same weight, then eating 2,000 to 2,200 will provide us a 300 to 500 calorie deficit. Too much of a calorie deficit and you're really going to feel hungry and you're really not going to want to move. So keeping the calorie deficit kind of small to make small progressive change. And then because you don't want to move around that much, you need to actually make sure you are moving. So scheduling walks into your day, or even if you take the metro or the bus or something, getting off a few stops earlier to force yourself to get that physical activity that you're not going to get when you're losing weight, that you're not going to feel like doing. Forcing yourself in to get it is going to be a good way to make sure you continuously keep putting out energy. Of course, understanding, this is a great one. Understanding that you will be hungry is part of the game, okay? If you're not feeling hungry, you're probably not losing weight. So you need to feel some hunger. And in fact, only eat to about 80% full, okay? Because of decreased leptin, you're not going to feel full, okay? If you do eat to the point where you're feeling full, that meal was a whole lot more than what you normally would have eaten. So only eat to about 80% full. Now, if you're trying to gain weight, feel free to eat a little more of this junk food, the high calorie processed stuff, okay? Of course, plenty of good food first, but of course, feel free to have some of the high calorie stuff, okay? Because you can eat a lot of that high calorie stuff and not feel full, okay? So high calorie foods are okay if you're gaining weight. Make sure, for the love of God, you're still training, all right? Otherwise, you're just gonna get fat. And, well, just like this poor girl here, you may not feel hungry, but just keep in mind that if you do want to gain weight, you do need to continuously snack and eat despite not feeling hungry. So scheduling in reminders to eat is actually important because you're not going to think of it naturally. So remember, this whole video, we talked a lot about leptin, okay? When you're losing weight, you reduce leptin. Leptin makes you feel full, okay? So you're never going to feel quite full. You're always going to feel hungry, and you also will feel like not moving around very much. All right. Have an amazing weekend. It's Friday. I hope this information benefits you somehow. Keep the questions coming. All right. I make a lot of these videos because a lot of you guys are asking stuff. So thank you very much for keeping this going, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.